Dear Big Casino Owner, this is the hardest letter I've ever had to write. It's about trust. Can I even trust you anymore? I'm just kidding. I'm not really writing anything. I'm actually writing gibberish, and I have talking points, and I probably won't go through the talking points the way I should. But my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I want to give you a sense of what it feels like to be a Vegas local over the last few years. And I want to give you a sense of what I feel is going on in Vegas, a vibe between the resorts and the regular people. Because I don't think the regular people think that they can trust the resorts anymore, and I think that's a horrible thing. And this isn't to glorify resorts. This isn't to vilify resorts. This isn't to glorify the working man. This isn't to vilify the rich people. It's just a video. I thought I would share some thoughts from the perspective of a local, somebody who is not outside looking in, but inside looking out. So my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Like, share, subscribe to videos. If you guys like this kind of stuff, hit the bell for notifications. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things. How maybe the casinos might want to approach the reopening of Las Vegas. My journey here so far in Vegas. What I've learned about people who visit here on a regular basis. What I think. And I could be completely wrong. Feel free to tell me. And yeah, so here we go. So I've been in Vegas since 2004. So it's fair to say that I've seen ups and downs and ups and downs. And I've lived in Lake Tahoe, and I've been around the state a little bit. I love the state of Nevada. I think this place is great. I think the weather's fantastic, except for maybe 90 days of the year where it's a little bit warmer than I'd like. And I think the people are really nice. And I think the state does a good job at making a happy business environment for everybody. But I do think at the same time that the big corporations are really, really big. And they don't get a pulse of what people actually want and what people actually like. And I know big corporations, you guys have to make money. Their bottom line is their bottom line. It was easier in the past, because after 2004, they could build more resorts, they could build more rooms, and they ran out of space to do that. So they have to increase the bottom line, and they got into the resort fees, and that was accepted for a little bit, but it's not really accepted anymore. But even in just 15 months of doing my YouTube channel, I've met people from again, I'm a person inside looking out, right? I've met people from all over the world. I met a couple from Ireland. They were awesome. I don't want to say their names because it's privacy, right? But they gave me a hat from Dublin. That was so cool. And I met people from California that give me Raiders gear, and Canadians who give me hockey stuff, and people who have supported me on Patreon and joined my Facebook group. Folks that email me from Scotland and tell me that they're looking forward to their next trip, and it's cold and rainy in Scotland, but they're watching my videos to see what's up. Or, folks that have wallpaper, they post it up in my Facebook group showing the months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds until their flight lands in Vegas. I never realized what a big impact Las Vegas has on the global travel community until I started really doing the YouTube channel. And in all the time I worked on the Strip and timeshare, which I no longer do anymore. I now work more with the business community in Vegas that's not Strip related. The more time I spent out there, the more I saw this kind of downtrodden feeling happening with people. Meaning that they felt like, in a way, they were getting taken advantage of. And we put it on this channel before, and I really strive to be impartial. And we'll get to impartiality and influencers and building trust with people in a minute. I've asked questions before. Is this what breaks Vegas's back? Is this the camel that breaks the straw's back? Yeah, I just said it backwards. Is this the straw that breaks the camel's back? The $1 bottle of water on the street corner that the county tries to get rid of because apparently the casinos put stress on the county to get rid of that guy so they can sell the $5 bottle at the gift shop. It's now $6 or $7 a few years later. Or, the person that feels like their resort fee doesn't make any sense to them because they're not going to use the pool, they're not going to use the Wi-Fi, and they don't go to the gym. Thank you very, very much. But the resort fee costs more than the room did. What's up with that? And big companies have to make money, and I've told you before, the resort fee's probably not going away, and I've made suggestions. Maybe they want to add massive value to that. If they add massive value to the resort fees, give you a free buffet with your resort fee, or if you fly with one airline, they partner up, and then your resort fee covers your baggage fees, for example, that you would have paid to the airline. There's all sorts of things they could do. I mean, come on, give somebody a free drink at the casino, for God's sakes. People have been talking like back in the day in Vegas, they would know it was your birthday, and they'd bring you a cheap bottle of champagne to your room, and people would feel like special again. And those are all really good suggestions. But how do we build trust right now? Because I think the thing that scares me the most is that I've heard people come back to me and say, I stayed at XYZ resort and there was bed bugs and I had to check out. It was disgusting and I had to fight my credit card for the money back. Or I stayed at ABC resort, and ABC resort, I pulled back the comforter on a supposedly clean room and there was a big giant hair in it. I went to the Luxor once with a subscriber who gave me a room tour, and they were there for one day. It was their second day there. And I walked up to one of the shelves where the TV was sitting and I went like this and I went, wow, did you guys leave the windows open? They don't open. He said, no, it was like that when we got here. You know, the turn down service is 5 minutes at some of these properties. And I'm going, are you kidding me? That's incredibly bad. And that was back in like November. And now here we are in March. And how are we going to ensure that there's safety for the guests? Now, after the October 1st incident, there was rumors like, for example, that there would be a different check-in process. You would check in and your bags would be taken back through an x-ray scanner. We would never have that kind of incident happen ever again. And that never happened. But we didn't lose trust in the properties of the resorts. But now we're at a point where people are so mad about it that they're not going to listen to anything anybody says, I don't think. And that's a really bad thing. That's like a husband and a wife that gets so frustrated with each other that they don't even listen to each other anymore. So one of them could be like, yeah, so I'm going on a big business trip tomorrow. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Or he's like, yeah, whatever. It's not always her. It's sometimes him. And then tomorrow, spouse isn't there. They give a call. Where are you? I told you yesterday I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. You have to pick up the kids from soccer practice today. That's what happens. People get tone deaf eventually. So what I read in my comments are the resort fees. I'll come back to Vegas when they get rid of the resort fees. And I've said they're not getting rid of the resort fees. It's too much of a revenue stream. Let's add some value onto those. People have said, I'll come back to Vegas when it's less expensive. I'll come back to Vegas when this. I'll come back to Vegas in December when this whole thing blows over. But what if the resorts were to open up with you? What if they were able to tell you through their own words and show you what they're doing to make the city better and show you what they're doing to win you back? But how do they do that? And that's the question. You can't do the thing where you go to the casinos and say, hey, I want to talk with you and maybe we could go on an interview. At least I can't, and I've tried. And they don't get back with me. I've made really nice little cut videos with editing and sound and graphics overlaid showing the casinos inside. And they've come back to me and said, sorry, we don't plan on working with social media influencers at this point. And I don't blame them. But the thing is, too, they will work with social media influencers. Maybe they'll hire the Kardashians. Are they still in vogue? Is that still the flavor of the week? And if you hire a Kardashian, you know they're getting paid. They'll pay anything. They'll be like, hi, I'm a Kardashian. Buy this computer mouse. And they get paid 20 grand and then they sell 5,000 computer mice and everybody's happy. But do you trust that person? I know I'm kind of tone deaf when it comes to that. So maybe we line up every single entertainer that's ever headlined Vegas. We get them all in one room. I get you Celine Dion, Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, Aerosmith, Journey, The Who, Elton John. I could go on and on. Hey, maybe we even make a hologram of Frank Sinatra, old Blue Eyes himself, and he walks out with Elvis Presley's hologram, and they tell you that Vegas is safe to come back to. The rooms are clean. We're going to take care of you guys. We're going to treat you special all over again. But I don't know if I'm buying that either. I don't know if you're buying that either, and you can tell me in the comments below if that would be enough for you. Because I think people get to a point where they vilify the big corporations. And Aerosmith, speaking of Aerosmith, I mean, they're headliners here, and I'd love to see their show someday when money comes back to the town because there's no money anymore. Well, they had a song called Eat the Rich from like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Eat the Rich. There's only one thing that they're good for. Eat the rich, take one bite now, come back for more. That was an attitude that people had back then, but it's an attitude people have even now. So don't vilify the resorts for doing what big corporations do. Everybody seems to love Apple, but what they don't realize is Apple just makes more money every single year by upping the price of their iPhone, and people begrudgingly pay it. But for some reason, people don't vilify Apple. It might be because the Apple ethos, the way that they put themselves forward is, they start with the why. And there's a good book you should read called The Power of Why by Simon Sinek. And in that book, he talks about how some companies say this is why we do this. Starbucks grew to their extensive reach around the world by Schultz going around and saying, I just want to give people the perfect cup of brewed coffee after he visited coffee houses in Europe. And that was his goal. The perfect cup of coffee because coffee is awesome. That was his why. Why does Starbucks exist? Apple's why is we exist to make the perfect products that are pretty much flawless for the people that want to use them. And then you have companies that say, here is here's how we're going to make more profits. We're going to do this. We're going to boost our bottom line. We're going to offer you this. We're going to offer you that. Here's a discount. Here's a discount. And those companies, they do well for the short term, but their why doesn't exist. And so why are the casinos here? Why are they servicing us? Why are they working hard for us? Those are the questions that we need answered by the casinos. And if they can answer the why they want to make it safer for us, why they value us, why they want us to come back to Las Vegas, and then the how. How are they going to do it? What are they doing to make it happen? What are they doing to accomplish the goal? But they have to find an intermediary to get to those people. And again, you can pay any amount of influencers. You can line up every celebrity that ever existed. And you can do that, but people might not trust that. So you have to talk to them on a level that maybe they can trust. I don't know. People tell me certain things and about the casinos, and it sounds to me like they're not trusting them. And I could be completely wrong, and you can tell me in the comments below if I'm completely wrong. But at the same time, I think there's something to it. I think there's something to the 24-hour news cycle we're in. The fact that every 30 seconds something big happens, and the news is always leading us in one direction or another. So we come to places like YouTube, we come to Facebook, we come to Instagram to connect with other human beings, to validate what we already think. And if it's a company that's trying to push a message to us, it's harder for us to trust the companies because they've been profiting from us for a very long time. And maybe they need to profit a little bit less. That's up to the companies and for the consumers to decide. I've always said the straw that breaks the camel's back is when people stop paying for it. And when people stop paying, that's when companies change their business practices. And if people stop coming to Vegas, they're going to have to change their business practices. Because as somebody said in my comments, they won't come to Vegas. They live in Florida. There's nothing that's more than a 40-minute drive that they can't find in Las Vegas. And that's a tragic thing. I would hate to see that person stop coming here because this city does offer all those experiences. Not in a 40 or 50-minute drive, but within a 5-mile radius of the world-famous Las Vegas Strip. So I believe in Vegas. I believe in the people that watch this video. I believe a little bit in those companies to try to get us back somehow. And we'll see if they can do it. And if they can do it, this might be the reset. This might be the pumping of the brakes that the world needs to realize we need to change our cleanliness, we need to change the way that we treat people, we need to change the way we live our lives, and we need to slow down a little bit. But I could be wrong. What do you think? You tell me in the comments below. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the video so you guys get more videos. This has been my meandering long thoughts. So we will go out this way. This is the part where I say 1, 2, 3, click, and the credits roll. If you want to be in the credits, go over to Patreon. Thank you for watching. I actually say 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.